Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.
Welcome back to yet another episode of Mama's Getting Oily. Now, just so we're clear, this whole channel, this whole series, this whole set of videos is not just going to be about oils. I am a down-to-earth mom. I am a different type of mom, okay? So Karens need not subscribe. Thank you. Today, we're going to talk about virtual learning because it's something that we are all doing now thanks to 2020 and all the curveballs that it is throwing at us. Okay? Now, some of us just started this year with virtual learning or the end of the school year last year, right? I've been doing it for 9 years with a little bit of traditional homeschooling in the mix. So, how do you do it without losing your mind? You can't. You can't. There will be days where you will lose your mind and your child will lose their mind and you will go, I don't want to do this anymore. Those are the days that you need to take a step back, chill. They're not going to ruin their entire lives by you guys taking a mental health day because trust me, with virtual learning or homeschooling or e-schooling or whatever you want to call it, however you want to categorize it, it is hard. And everybody was just shoved into it this year. And I cannot imagine being shoved into this lifestyle without choosing. Like me, my husband and I, we did a whole lot of research beforehand, okay? We started researching probably 2 years before our oldest was even close to kindergarten. We were researching, and it was our choice. We had a whole list of reasons why this was going to be the best option for our family. But to be thrown into it, I cannot imagine what you guys are going through. But I promise you that if you take it one subject at a time, not one day at a time, one subject at a time, you will get through this. And if your lesson plan is flexible, you can, the best piece of advice I have for you is to start with your child's least favorite subject and move towards their most favorite subject. That way they knock out the crap that they don't like in the beginning. I did that a lot when we were traditionally homeschooling. I do that a lot now that we are e-schooling. Not with the older two because they have teachers for a class and they have set classes and all that. So it's not too flexible once you get up into the middle school and high school grades. But for the elementary school grades, you can work it however you want. So, we kind of start with like the boring and the not fun, and we work towards whatever that child's favorite subject is. If you can do that, do that. It'll make your day go so much smoother. And breaks, lots of breaks, okay? Now, half of my kids are, I want to get it done, I want to do it all right now, let's get it done. The other half are, let's procrastinate as long as we possibly can. That's me coming out in them 100%. I am a procrastinator, always will be. And honestly, I get my best work done as a procrastinator, okay? Like I said, we're doing these videos on Mondays. It is Monday morning and I am recording, which means I will edit and post later today, which means I have a busy morning. But procrastinating is life. So half of my kids want to get in there, get it done, be done, get it over with. My other half are definitely procrastinators. They want to push it off for as long as possible instead of just getting it done. Now as an adult, I go, why would you do that? But yet, I have laundry and rooms to clean and projects and hallways and closets to clean out and all that kind of stuff, and I'm putting it off for as long as I possibly can. And I'm playing Minecraft instead because you know what? Minecraft is so much more fun than trying to organize a winter closet that hasn't been organized in a few years. Help me. So, yeah. Take lots of breaks. If you see your child starting to get really frustrated, it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better, and they're going to shut down completely. So you see them start getting aggravated or whatever, change it, give them something else to do that's school required, or just let them take a few minutes in their room. My second oldest, she has ADHD and a tad bit of anxiety in there. And sometimes she just needs a minute. She needs to go upstairs in her room by herself and just scream into her pillow or just be alone and breathe through it. Otherwise, she will get to a point where she completely shuts down. She can't understand anything. And then we're both frustrated. And that doesn't help. It doesn't help anybody. So giving them breaks every once in a while, maybe after every class, or, you know, just a 10-minute break after a half an hour of working. Something like that will make your day go so much smoother, okay? Tip number 3 for virtual learning, lots of coffee. I don't know what I'd do without coffee. I would be awful. Also, tip number 4 is getting up before they have to get up. You know, before I was at the point where I was getting up early, I was sleeping in till the last absolute minute getting up, and then we were rushed, and then we were aggravated, and that never made for a good day. So my advice to you is at least give yourself an hour before they have to get up. It sucks. Nobody likes to get up early. They want to sleep. But since I've been getting up at 5 in the morning to have coffee with Steve, it has made parenting and virtual learning a whole lot easier, because I have about 2.5 hours before they get up to enjoy a couple of hot cups of coffee. Hot, not cold, hot cups of coffee. And just relax and do whatever, whether it's play a game or watch YouTube or just sit there and scroll through the phone aimlessly. It doesn't matter. Like, you can use this time as your self-care, and self-care is different for each person. So do in that time whatever helps you get ready for the day and relax and chill and just be a better version of you. And I know that sounds so hippie-ish and so ridiculous, but honestly, until I did it, I had no idea how true this was. So I love getting up at 5 and having that time to myself where nobody was talking to me or asking me a million questions or can I have this or can I have that. Again, I love my kids. They just can be annoying. Let's be real. They can be hella annoying. Tip number 1, start with their least favorite subject if at all possible. It gives them something to look forward to. 2, lots of breaks. Number 3, coffee. Number 4, get up earlier than they have to be up. It'll make all the difference in the world. So, look, I homeschool / e-school 4 kids, and I can't even begin to tell you how crazy it is that I've been doing this for 9 years, and I am not a pro. There are still days that I jack it all up, or we just don't do it because I don't feel like it. And you know what? That's okay. Totally fine. Believe it or not, you are allowed to make those decisions. But for 9 years, I've been doing this, and, you know, obviously it wasn't all 4 at once. We worked up to 4. You know, when Mika started, I had a newborn baby. I didn't know what I was going to do because it was our first year homeschooling and with a newborn, but got through it. And then the second year, guess what? Another newborn. See the trend? Well, that trend stopped there. Thank you very much. And, you know, they get older, they grow, and we add more. And so now we have 4. As per the 4 desks back there that you can hardly see, which is on purpose because they are not organized. They definitely get that from their dad because, you know, I'm a really organized person. Anyway, so, yeah. It's hard. It's tough. You will get through it. It is not impossible. It's just one subject at a time. And, oh, God, okay. Another important thing, let your child do it the way they know it best. What does that mean? It means in math, if they learn better by putting the equation like this and just adding it or whatever, let them do it that way. If they are better at drawing shapes on the paper and crossing some off to do subtraction, let them do it all that way. They will eventually know their facts, but right now, they know how to do it a certain way, and they should be able to do it that way. That is my favorite part of homeschooling, is that they can do it the way they know best. So my oldest, she stacks the problem and solves it. And my youngest loves her abacus. She loves using her abacus and is now getting into putting the equation in order like like normal. It'll come, but let them do it the way that they feel most comfortable, okay? Like, that's huge. It's so huge. Even if it's Common Core, if that's how they feel comfortable doing it, let them do it that way. They should know a bunch of different ways on how to solve an equation, but let them use the one they're most comfortable with, because that's going to make it easier on them and on you in the long run. That is a big tip. If you can do it, let them do it the way that they feel more comfortable. So a big question that I get from friends who know that I homeschool or e-school is, do I need a room? Do I need a big setup? Blah, blah, blah. No. Stop going around Pinterest and trying to design a schoolroom that you do not need. For the longest time, we used our dinner table. Worked great until there was all 4 of them sitting there and nobody had any room. If you have hella kids like I do, yeah, you're gonna need, some desks or some extra space, but you don't need to deck out a whole room like a schoolroom. You don't. I have a couple of signs on how to write, essays or stories or whatever for the older kids, but other than that, we don't have anything hanging up or anything like that. They each have their desks with their laptops and their school books, and that's it. It's not crazy. Would I love a schoolroom? Oh my God, yeah. Do you need one? Absolutely not. A lot of my friends that homeschool, they do it, in their living room, on the floor. In the springtime or fall time, they do it outside. Like, you can make homeschooling or e-schooling or virtual schooling as comfortable for you as possible. If that means they want to do it in pajamas, let them do it in pajamas. Who cares? It's great. Let them be comfortable, because for those of you that have been pushed into this, it's going to make them feel more comfortable. Because it's also a huge change for the kids, not just you. It's crazy. They go from hanging out with their friends every day, seeing their teachers every day, being in a class setting, to home. And for kids that haven't grown up with that, it's a culture shock. Like, it's crazy. They can't, it's not the same. And so it's a huge change for them, just like it is for you. So keep that in mind too when they're struggling and having a hard time, because it is not easy to embrace a huge change, and there's so much changing right now with everything going on. They need somewhere where it's a constant. They need to be able to feel comfortable, whether they're in their pajama pants or they get dressed like a normal day. Whatever makes this transition easier for them is going to make it easier for you in the long run. So keep that in mind too. But either way, you will get through this. Get your coffee, get your gangster rap, your rock and roll, pull up your big girl panties, and get it done. And remember that if you can make it easier for them, it'll be way easier for you. So, let me know in the comments if you have any questions for virtual settings, e-schooling, homeschooling, anything like that. I will answer with the best of my knowledge. Like I am not a professional, but I will offer advice, and you can take it or throw it away, whatever you want. So until next week, hang in there. You've got this. You're awesome. Enjoy the week, because all we have to do is get through Monday, and the rest of the week is easy peasy. So we will see you all next week. And I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'm sure something crazy and funny and chaotic will happen. I'll be able to share that and make you know that you are not alone, that sometimes kids suck and sometimes they're great. All right, we'll talk to you guys next time on Mama's Getting Oily.
Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely.